Hi guys, so we've done a lot of episodes lately, but something that really hit me when I was looking back at a lot of episodes is we haven't done a really diverse episode. Well, we have dived into things like Medusa, and Medusa's Greek, so therefore would be put into a drama, so it sort of links in a whole way that's a bit about drama. But we haven't done something that's really pushing it. Something like street sports. And that's what I decided may be an interesting thing to do with me. So today, I've decided to cover the topic of skateboarding, because I like skateboarding. Skateboarding, yeah! So I know it's technically like a sporting episode and you can look at loads of things, but I'm going to look at how it's an entertainment phenomenon. We will look at other things in the future because it's too long an episode just to do tons of street sports, and there are so many, and then I'd feel like it was a wasted episode, like the Hamilton episode, which I'm thinking of just doing one per song in the future. I'm sorry Hamilton haters out there, but you're listening to the wrong podcast. Well, unless you just want to skip out those episodes. But anyway, so today we're doing skateboarding because I love skateboarding. I think skateboarding is a really great thing, and it's sort of like people really underestimate it. Like you see someone skateboard through town, and you're just like, oh yeah, that guy's got a skateboard. We should do some tricks. But it is so hard. The last few days I've been learning how to steer on a skateboard, and I didn't know. I thought it was bending for velodrome things because I'm trying to convince myself that I was good at skating. Never mind. Skateboarding is really hard to do. It is a really big skill, and people really underestimate it. So when skateboarding becomes a job, you see them in the Olympics as entertainment. You see them in streets doing it as entertainment. It is amazing. When you actually start skateboarding, then you come to appreciate that sort of stuff, because it is just amazing. If you were going to see someone skateboarding around in a circle, you would think that was lame. If you actually started skateboarding and you were pretty new to it, you would think that was amazing. Especially if they did more than that, they zigzagged. That would be so cool for people who were terrible at skateboarding. If I see someone navigating a street on a skateboard, I think that's amazing, and I could watch that for ages, because I am not very good at skateboarding. So basically, first I'm going to talk about just some basic traits of how skateboarding's entertainment. But skateboarding's not exactly always entertainment. Sorry, that was just me trying to subtly turn on my camera without you noticing. Is not always entertainment on comedy levels. Please observe. Tell me when you can see it. That's my amazing skateboard, by the way. That's me going with a plant pot. Very funny, but I'm assuming you wouldn't be able to make a job out of that. Well, I mean, it is very hard skateboarding, and people really underestimate it, and when you see them in the Olympics, that is wow, but it is double wow when you actually try to skateboard. Sorry, I've done a lot of talking about how amazing skateboarding is because of how hot it is. Let's go on to the real stuff now. Yeah, real stuff. Oh, we're gonna do the real stuff. The real stuff. Sorry, I'm probably going insane. I've got a really sore throat, so I'm currently being rubbish at singing. Unless I'm always rubbish at singing, but no one's told me that yet. Apart from a few people. My mum says I'm not rubbish at singing. She's my mum. Suppose that's her job. Oh. Anyway, so skateboarding. Two-parter on this. Skateboarding is very hard to do. It is incredible how you can do stuff out of it. But what exact styles of entertainment can you do? So there's your basic Olympic athletes, but not everyone's going to be Olympic athletes. But if you think about it, have you ever paid to go see someone do bicycle tricks or something in a half pipe, because you can get them around with skateboarders, and they just do a ton of tricks and then they go, and it's really great to watch, because it's really fascinating when you see them do stunts. And Olympics ones cost fortunes. When you're getting them just in a half pipe, they cost less of a fortune. And I think it is just very interesting to see this stuff. And you never think about it, but what about those actors in the movie that, like, in the background, they're like acting teenage boys on their skateboards in a half pipe? Like, they have to actually be able to skateboard. So it does become a career opportunity when you're starting to skateboard, and it is part of movies and drama and that sort of thing. But skateboarding is fun to watch, and as I was saying before, is also just really can get really hard. And I mean, this is a sort of different thing to it being hard. Half pipes are going to be really hard when you're not really experienced with the steering. Dang! It made a sound again. Sorry guys, this camera should get a silencer or something. When you're learning to first skateboard, you think your skateboard's going wrong because it keeps veering. And of course, you also don't know how to control that veering or whatever. So this is how you steer. Which of course isn't the most convenient way to do things, especially when you're trying to get somewhere and it would just be faster to walk. So basically, you're trying to skateboard, you're trying to steer. To steer, there are multiple ways you could do this. It's about leaning, also about foot placement. My advice thing, you probably want to keep both feet on the skateboard as much as possible and get the other foot off when you need to push it forward. I mean, sometimes this doesn't work and different people have different methods, but my method is keep them on as much as possible and then then push forward like a bit. Because if the foot placement's in the centre, you can just lean a bit to get it to move. And of course, when you're doing the tight ones, you do a mini wheelie, but we do not speak of such things. Terror does happen. Terror doth happen. And there are also some things you never really notice about skateboarders. Think about the Olympics. In fact, I'm just going to do two different sports. Think about professional cricket. You see all those cricketers wear pads. Now think about the Olympics. And they don't wear pads. Now, I sort of get that. They are Olympian athletes, so they should be trained to not fall off and get hurt as much. But you can really easily get them. So here are my extremely cheap rollerblade style pads, which claim to be used for skateboard, scooter, roller skates and bike, but they are mostly aimed at roller skaters and everything, right? So you look at that. But if you do really think about it, then you can see that they can get special skateboarding pads by brands like No Fear. So why can't skateboarders just get really nice skateboarding pads? And I think it's about aerodynamics. But I'm not really that sure. I mean, who can really be sure about anything in life these days? Things are so hard to understand when nobody can understand anything. Sorry, what was I saying? It was just so weird. Sorry, guys. Probably my mind after skateboarding. I go crazy when I do that. Anyway, of course, skateboarding and pads is also really annoying. So, this is an extremely funny and captivating image of me just after I've been skateboarding on a hot day, red in the face, absolutely soaking with sweat in real life, and that's after taking off my wristbands and just like 5-minute cool down. So you never really think, like, that was without a helmet. With all the skateboarding stuff, you are going to be using up a ton of heat and you're going to be really tired at the end of that. So that's probably why they don't use pads. I mean, I am thinking I might do another episode on this because it's long and I've really attempted to, like, you know, shorten that out because I really like skateboarding. I wanted to have a complete episode and be able to go on YouTube because of length, size and everything. So guys, that's drama. Pretty dramatic! Sorry guys. Must be one of my skateboarding pads. My invisible skateboarding pads. Or maybe I've just got so attached to not using skateboarding pads that my body has become skateboarding pads. Anyway, as I said, that's drama and it's pretty